I've been out to your venue, obviously, a billion times. I love your venue. Um, what do you consider to be some of the unique things about Tuscan? Because I think that, like, as couples today kind of start to look for venues, they have ideas in mind of, like, maybe, I guess, a theme of a specific type of venue, whether it's, more modern or a barn or what, like you said, garden styled
Hmm.
or whatever the case may be. And then they also start to look for those unique things. So, what are some of the unique things that you kind of see for Tuscan?
So for our business, I feel like the most unique thing that stands out to our couples that tour with us and then eventually book with us, it's always going to be me and my family. Because it's just something that you can't really get anywhere else because we are just exclusive to our venue only.
Hmm.
I would say most of our couples that book us, because there are tons of beautiful venues across the Houston area.
Hmm.
We're not the only ones that have a garden or a courtyard or a waterfront view.
Yeah.
We're definitely different than a lot of the others, but what sets us apart is going to be our service and my family and the vibe that they get when they tour with us, that they can trust me with their big day that they're putting a huge investment on, to make sure that it goes smoothly. So typically when they book, they're like, we were kind of down the wire with like two venues, but you know what sold us? It was like you, or it was like your mom that I toured with, or we just love that it was a family affair. Because also my dad is involved, my husband, my two kids come up all the time and help out.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of what sets us apart. But also our biggest moneymaker is going to be the courtyard where our ceremony takes place, just because
Hmm.
it's got a great backdrop. So
Yeah, yeah. And that was one of the things to where, I probably started doing a good majority of my weddings when I actually started to come out to your venue, right? And so when you have like this initial view, and it's like great of like this is how everything is running and it's smooth, and the owner is over here helping out and helping coordinate and doing this and doing that, you think like, oh, this is how it goes, this is how it's supposed to be. And then you go to other venues and be like, whoa, like this is not how it is at every venue. And so I'm glad that you touched on that. Like, you and your family, you have a big hand in not only just like booking people and that's it, but you're actually have a big hand on the day of coordinating. So kind of tell me, how does that work with couples?
So for us, I'm built into every single package. The only time I haven't been physically at a wedding was when I was having my babies, but that's it. Other than that, I'm always at every single wedding. But basically, we usually have two or three planning meetings at the venue with our clients, and I have a very set routine of like templates that I like to use just to
Mhm.
make sure we don't forget to plan anything out. And then on day of, I am typically there from start to finish. We do help our couples with, arrival, the unloading of their things, the setup of all their decor, their sign-in stuff, their dress, etc. And then, of course, once the vendors start to roll in, we kind of oversee that setup to make sure everybody's doing what they need to be doing. And then from there on, it's just it's party time. So we coordinate the wedding ceremony and the reception and keep everybody on timeline. It's kind of ran like a really well-oiled machine. That's kind of how most people at the end of the night, when they've finished their event, they'll be like, "Gosh, it's like a well-oiled machine here. Like
Mhm.
everything is so like to the T and by the book. It's just a very great like structure that we've kind of developed over the years and perfected, and it works really well. So, but a lot of it is credited to I know my building, I know my place, I know what works best. I also know our clients and the guests, and I can predict what's going to help things run smoothly. And then I also have the support of like, my mom is usually at every event working
Mhm.
behind the scenes. I'm kind of the face of the company. She is kind of like the rock that oversees everything else from behind. And then
Yeah.
my dad pops in and also helps out. But I do hire like an assistant, and we have a really good solid team that works behind the scenes as well. But um, we try to be heavily involved because that's the only way to ensure that things will go the right way and the way that it's supposed to.
I can probably say, when I was thinking about my company, I was like, okay, like I want to take all of the good that I've seen and leave out all of the bad. So it was not just like looking at DJ companies, but even looking at businesses like yours and like, okay, well, how can I make sure that my clients are getting this level of service, and making sure that, like you said, everything runs well. Because I think that, um, every vendor, whether you're a venue, DJ, caterer, whatever, everybody wants to make money. But what I've seen from you is that you really care about all of these events. It's never been like, oh, like I care about this one, but whatever, we can just do whatever with with this one. Like you really care about every single wedding that we work together, and so that's you don't find that everywhere.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, and I'm glad that we've been kind of an inspiration for you to start your own business. It's been neat to see you branch out on your own. I do miss having you out though. But yeah, it's one of those things that I've learned. Sometimes it's kind of like that old saying, like if you want it done the right way, you just have to do it yourself,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
usually applies. Because it's just so hard to train somebody to like do exactly what I have envisioned in my mind. So, and you'll find that running your own business that because it's yours, it's your baby, that's your DJ company, you'll put 200% into it because you want it to succeed. And then
Course.
because these clients have put their trust in you, you'll feel that pressure to make sure you deliver what they're expecting. So.